Hi everyone, it's Library Linda, and I'd like to welcome you to this week's edition of Did You Know? Did you know, on May 2nd of 1908, lyricist Jack Norworth and composer Albert von Tilzer registered their song Take Me Out to the Ball Game for copyright. Jack wrote this song as an ode to his girlfriend, the very outspoken and progressive vaudeville actress Trixie Fraganza. It is believed that Trixie is the fictitious Katie Casey, who is mentioned in the first verse, that is never played at ball games. She was baseball mad and had the fever and had it bad. So in that first verse, Katie is asked by her beau if she'd like to go see a show. And she said, no, I'll tell you what you can do. You can take me out to the ball game. And speaking of baseball, did you know on May 2nd of 1939, Lou Gehrig's 2,130 game streak of consecutive games ended? The first game of his streak occurred on June 1st, 1925, and the last game occurred on April 30th of 1939. And it was May 2nd that Lou Gehrig went to his manager and benched himself because of exhaustion. That streak stood until 1995, when Cal Ripken Jr. broke his record and then added an additional 501 games on top of that. Did you know, on May 3rd of 1966, Johnny Carson and Ava Gabor played Twister on national television? Ray and Geyer developed a game that was played on the floor, and the players were the pieces, and he first called this game Pretzel, until Milton Bradley took over and changed the name to Twister. A lot of toy stores wouldn't carry the game, but after it was played by Ava and Johnny on The Tonight Show with Ed Mann the Spinner, FAO Schwartz sold out the very next day. Did you know, on May 4th of 1675, King Charles II of England commissioned the Royal Observatory to be built? Since the forming of Hudson's Bay Company, which was a fur trading venture with North America, England had more ships in the water, and there was a need for more accurate cartography, navigation, and timekeeping. The architect Christopher Wren recommended that the observatory be built on the ruins of the Greenwich Castle, which sits on a hill above the River Thames. The two original astronomers were Flamsteed and Halley, and they charted all the stars in the sky, and they were key in developing an accurate clock for the country's public time signal. They set Greenwich at 0 longitude. This is where we get Greenwich Mean Time. The ball on top of the building was used to accurately set time. At exactly 12:55 p.m., the ball would rise halfway up the pole. And exactly 2 minutes till 1, it would go all the way to the top. At 1 o'clock, the ball would drop so that all the ship's captains passing by could accurately set their chronometers. This is also where we get the term on the ball. Did you know, on May 4th of 1959, the first Grammy Awards were presented? The record and song of the year went to Volare. The album of the year was The Music from Peter Gunn by Mancini. The best female vocal was Ella Fitzgerald, and the male vocal award went to Perry Como. That first Grammy Award banquet was held simultaneously at the Beverly Hills Hilton in Beverly Hills and the Sheraton in New York City. Did you know, on May 5th of 1862, Mexico repelled the larger and better equipped French forces of Napoleon III at the Battle of Puebla? The Mexican forces were led by General Zaragoza and General Diaz, and the win stood as a symbol against foreign domination, and this became a national holiday known as Cinco de Mayo. Did you know, on May 5th of 1961, astronaut Alan Shepard became the first American in space? Gus Grissom and John Glenn were alternates for this flight that went 116 miles high above the Earth. 15 minutes and 22 seconds after takeoff, Alan Shepard, in his Mercury capsule Freedom 7, successfully splashed down in the ocean near the Bahamas, just a mere 4 miles from the ship that was sent to retrieve the capsule. Because of the success of the flight, President Kennedy committed to a lunar landing someday, and this paved the way for future space flights. I hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Did You Know? And I hope to see you again next week. Bye-bye.